Good evening, my dear masters, my dear friends, and my dear gods. Mahavatar TV welcomes you all to 21 days free holistic wellness program, batch 15, and it's already day 17. So, before commencing the session, my great pranamas to our Guruji Rangnath sir, and my sincere great grand pranamas to Brahma Shri Patriji Garu, and my sincere great grand pranamas to Mahavatar Babaji Garu, and pranamas to all great masters, and pranamas to you all. So, this evening we will be having holistic lifestyle first about the Sattvic lifestyle habit 2, part 1 and 2, and then we'll practice doing meditation, and then we will have the spiritual topic share about the messages from 40 masters. That's by me, Deepika. So, we'll welcome Sindhura ma'am to take her holistic lifestyle class now.
Thank you, Deepika.
Yeah.
Welcome, Masters, to the 21 Days Holistic Wellness Program. Today, we will discuss about eating live and wholesome food. So, one of the fundamental rituals we do every day from cradle to grave, apart from breathing, is eating food. And food has been part of our culture. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Please type yes in the chat box.
Yeah, Sindhura ma'am, you are audible.
Yes. Okay. So, food has been part of our culture. So, food is not just about fulfilling our bellies. So, it's about enjoying flavors, textures. It's about bonding with our family, friends. When we sit and eat together on dining table, or when we join together for a lavish feast during festivals. So, today we will discuss how to keep our food choices in order to enhance our prana. So it is based on Sattvic food philosophy. You might have already known in previous classes about holistic wellness program. And the holistic, we have discussed about the importance of natural food, vegetarian food. So the same thing here, but with a little bit of practical, adaptations, we can go with the right choices. We can make right choices, and you can tackle the challenges as well. So it is daunting to change our food habits, especially in this modern days. Modern day. So to switch from these packed foods to natural foods, so it's very challenging. But we will go with the practical, uh, this choices, how we can make changes and make it more convenient for our life, to include that aspect in our life. So according to Sattvic food philosophy, so there are three fundamental pillars. First pillar is eating living foods. Second one is eating wholesome food, and third is plant-based food. So, so what is living food? Living food is nothing but which has the presence of life force in it. Just for example, if we, if we put ripened tomato in the soil, so in few days we find tiny plants sprouting from the seeds of tomato. So like that, if we put a seed or cereal, it will sprout. Means it has the ability to give birth to a new form, new life form. So suppose if we plant chocolate or chips, it doesn't grow into another life form, a new life form, right? So that has the ability to give grow into a new life form, that is called living food. That's it. So in Sanskrit we call it prana. So with prana here, we can give birth to new cells. And this will enhance the prana in our body by eating the pranic foods or living foods. We can enhance the prana in our body, and it will nourish our body with the nutrients. And there are the markers through which we can detect whether it is living food or not. So three markers I will share. First one is it should be from farm to kitchen. Means no chemical fertilizers or pesticides should be added during the time of growing the crop. So directly from farm to kitchen. And next is it should not be frozen. Means the fruit, the fresh fruit or vegetable that we purchase, so it will rot faster if it is natural. Okay, and many apples we have seen that it is covered with wax, to increase the longevity or to make it more attractive to look. Okay, so that is not a natural food. That we don't consider as living food. So it should be in its natural form. And the third most important is it should be unprocessed and not packed with additives or artificial coloring agents and chemical preservatives. So these things we should keep in our mind while purchasing the food also, from supermarket or from the shop. And the disadvantages of having processed food, like packed foods. So here some of the disadvantages of having it. So it can cause health, it can cause severe health impact, because these are the chemical preservatives and artificial coloring agents. They are proved as highly carcinogenic, means they have the potential to cause cancer. And one more flip side of having this food is they are specially engineered for addiction. Means if you are eating a pack of Lays, so after that you will crave for another packet of Lays because of the high presence of salt, sugar, and fat. So it makes us our taste buds more palatable. So we'll keep craving for more and more. Dr. Mark Heyman, is one of the best-selling New York Times author. He says there is no such thing as junk food. There is junk and there is food. So it's good to avoid processed junk food, and also those are with additives and chemical, artificial flavors. And what are the steps we can follow, or the precautions we can take if we cannot um, get natural food? Because people who are living in the metropolitan cities, so they don't have access for natural food, so they have to purchase from supermarkets. So how not to fall into the marketing gimmicks? So don't go for advertisements first. First of all, don't just go and pick the food that is shown in advertisement. And also choose food from the green and yellow list. So if you cannot buy food products directly from the farm or farmer, you can choose them in the yellow and green list. I'll just share what it is. Yes. See here, red list, it shows it contains highly processed ingredients, and in the yellow list, it is showing that it is minimally processed. And the green list, that you can go for it. That is, it contain all the natural ingredients, And it is also mandatory for these manufacturers of food, to mention the ingredient list on the packet. So make sure you go through all the ingredients before purchase. And the next option is, don't remove but replace. See, we cannot sustain a lifestyle of restraint and strict diet, every day. We cannot follow that. So what we can do is we can replace those foods, unhealthy foods, or our unhealthy habit of having snacks with the better alternatives. So for example, if somebody has the habit of having tea or coffee, so they can switch to black tea. So that is tea with water and little bit of lemon, by adding little bit of lemon, or they can go for herbal teas. The same way, you can also replace snacks to healthier snack options. Like instead of chips, a packet of chips, you can have sabudana khichdi or this puffed rice, right? So those things we can try. And the third step is, so tweaking your kitchen environment. How? So minimize the usage of packaged food. So don't keep packed foods in your kitchen, and minimize the usage of this ready-made masala powder and pickles or ready-made snacks. So instead of that, we can prepare that in the kitchen. And next part is wholesome food. Okay, so what is wholesome food then? So wholesome food refers to the food in the purest form, most purest form, like it is unaltered, unrefined, and unfragmented. So which means from which the vital components have not been extracted. They are, means the whole food is kept intact, all the part of that food. So that is called wholesome food. Like for example, we have this we get corn, right? Sweet corn or maize. So we consume it in the form of butta, or corn meal. So butta, that is Indian food, most very Indian snack, which is no, which can be easily found in the market during rainy season. So that is cooked on this thing, fire, and also it is consumed as a snack. So the whole part of corn is used there. Suppose if we make it in the form of corn syrup, so where only some part of the corn is used, and also in the form of corn starch, only the starch part of corn is used in the corn starch. So there also lot of nutrients are depleted when we refine it. So the nutrients, all the nutrient material is diminished. Instead of that, it is good to consume a food in its wholesome form. Here is a photo I'll share. This one. This corn meal, it is, prepared by grinding corn into powder. So it is wholesome. But here, the corn kernel, it is, is used. and the rest of the part it is left behind. So in the cornstarch, this powder cornstarch, so it is only the starch of the corn is used, and all the fibers are, it is thrown away. And one such food, refined food we consume every day is sugar, refined sugar. So according to the University of Bordeaux, it is proved in experiment that sugar is highly addictive, even more than cocaine. So one must refrain from sugar. In case if you cannot skip sugar in your daily food, so you can go for better alternatives like palm jaggery, organic jaggery, or even less refined sugar that we call brown sugar. But the best natural sugars are the dry fig, that is dry fruits, um, dates, and raisins, and also the sweets, the fruit that has um, sweetness like bananas and custard apple. So all these natural fruits we can use as a substitute for sugar. And also there are the benefits of skipping sugar. So you will get more benefit if you skip sugar in your diet. The first thing is just within 3 weeks you can notice reduced belly and reduced puffiness on your face, and your skin will get better, the quality of skin gets improved, and also enhance this energy. You can feel enhanced energy because the blood sugar level will be normal and you don't get spikes, and that will reduce the fatigue. And also craving for unhealthy foods will decrease since brain depending on dopamine spikes, by the sugar, it begins to diminish. So definitely by skipping sugar we can see positive changes in our health. And the next thing we use on regular basis, that is wheat flour. So in every household today in India, so everyone is having chapati. So wheat, that is refined wheat, that is available in packets. And one more refined wheat we use is in all the Indian snacks, that is maida. So what happens if we consume maida? So this is how maida is prepared. See in this picture you can see a wheat grain. So there are two parts. One is the center of the wheat grain is germ. We call it heart of the grain. So it is the living force of the grain, and the covering is bran, that is wrapped in the means the seed. The grain is wrapped in the layer that we call as bran. So this bran is completely packed with fiber, vitamin B, and essential minerals like copper, iron, magnesium. So it is essentially powerhouse of the grain. So what happens when we refine it into maida? So this germ and bran, they are thrown away. So just to make it more softer and to prolong its shelf life. But all nutrients, vitamins, iron, magnesium, it is lost. So by having maida, there is no benefit. But instead of benefits, our gut and digestive system, it will get disturbed. So it is called glue of the gut, glue for the gut, maida. So instead of having maida, we can prepare samosas and other snacks with alternative, that is semolina is good, suji in Hindi. And also one can use whole wheat or buckwheat. Buckwheat is in trend these days. Um, so that is the whole. They include all the bran and the germ, and also chickpea flour, that is besan. And also we can have millets once in a while. Like in southern India, ragi is excessively grown. So ragi, jawar, and in northern parts, bajra is extensively used millet. So any millet that is locally available, so you can replace wheat with the millet. That is good. So with these two changes, so by having living food and wholesome food, so we can uh, you know have health. So and also it is not about just having food for taste. So food uh, is for harmonizing our inner prana, and also for maintaining balance in our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Lifestyle. Any doubts if you have, so you can ask without hesitation.
Yeah, thank you, Sindhura ma'am. I would like to
Mhm.
share my experience about
Yes,
quitting sugar. When I
yes.
had my first baby, so I was overweight around 70 kilos. Uh, I just quit from fifth month. I just quit sugar. So sugar and rice I used to eat moderately. Within 7 months, from 72, I reduced to 54. That was my
Oh,
experience. Yeah. And I used to feel uh, filled, and I never used to have any cravings in between. So, all natural food. I used to be very active. I never used to have any diseases or anything like that. So it was wonderful. So sometimes once in a while, if you want to have, when you go to others' place, just one sip of coffee, that is okay. But if you avoid fully, it will be very good for your
yes, yes,
gut health. Yeah.
yes. The key is, go for gradual approach. So don't decide I will quit from tomorrow everything. That won't work. So go for gradual approach. Gradually, one have to shift from unhealthy to healthy habits.
Yeah, which sustain longly. So which for
Yes.
long time, if it is sustainable, that is good for your health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be practical as well, right? Because we have to give time and understand our body first, right? So without sugar, sometimes without having tea or coffee, some people will feel agitated if they have the habit of having tea and coffee regularly. So better you skip very gradually. That is good. Any more questions? So there are some alternatives here. I will share the picture. Hope you can see it. It is quite blurred actually, so I didn't share. See, so instead of having chips and namkeen, so you can go for roasted nuts, roasted gram, roasted corn, and also homemade popcorn and chivda. that is puffed rice and beaten rice, and biscuits or cookies. For that, you can go for fresh fruits and coconut. Homemade biscuits and cookies is also fine. Instead of chocolate, so we can have a smoothie which is made from cocoa, that is natural form of chocolate. It is actually unsweetened. The cocoa is unsweetened, so you can add banana and with the cocoa powder, and you can have smoothie. And homemade chocolate and laddus. This here packet sodas or soft drinks should be avoided because they contain a high amount of sugar. So instead of that, one can consume fresh coconut water or lime juice or fruit juices. So instead of having ketchup, salad dressings, so go for homemade chutneys. That is good. And instead of ice creams, so you can have homemade ice creams with dry fruits and dates, fig, and also smoothies that is made from bananas and your favorite fruit. So that we can do as much as possible. So we can implement all these alternatives.
I think Neelu ma'am has got doubt. She raised
Yeah.
her hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I asked this question to Ranganath sir also. How many times should we eat? Because there is this saying which says a yogi eats only one time a day, and
Yes, yes.
a bhogi eats 3 times a day. Matlab, if you want to raise your prana, then the yogis of older times they would eat only once a day. So, but
See, I will.
now since we are cultivated to eat 3 to 4 times, it is difficult to reduce it to 2 times or once. No? So, what is the ideal way? And I do want to grow spiritually.
Actually, if you really want to be spiritual, you should not, follow ideal path,
Mm.
because yes, so you have to go with awareness. Like with my experience, I'll tell you. So during the time of traveling, sometimes I used to travel for my business purpose. So that time I eat, solid meals during night also, because I have to carry that huge luggage, you know.
Mm.
So I can't, ask for help for others. So it's all depends on your awareness, and you must listen to your body. See, suppose if you are going for some work that demands more physical strength, then you have to have food according to that. No, that helps your body. So that is the awareness is the key, ma'am. So 50% of common sense and 50% of science. So with that you can go.
Thank
There is nothing. That's what I said. So it is not no
thank you.
strict,
Yeah.
disciplined, and idealistic way of life. No, that will not work.
Mm.
That will work for those who are in sannyas ashram. Means they don't do anything, right? They simply
Mm.
sit at one place and you're meditating all day. That will work for them. Even having one meal, that will work. So, but we are in this world. We are doing activities every day, and we are um, we have to face new things every day. So, according to that, we have to deal with our body. So that is the key.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, like Sindhura ma'am told, like depends upon our activities. If we are highly active in particular day, then we got to eat so that we will sustain our energies. And the other thing, like in the previous classes, what we taught is eat when you are hungry. Like there are two hungries,
Yes.
mind hungry and stomach hungry. Listen to the stomach hungry. So when you're really hungry, you'll not look like you'll not choose anything like what to eat and all. Even a slice of tomato or a cucumber, you'll like to eat. That's a real hunger. So when you're hungry only, you have to eat. That's the other thing. Yeah. So yeah, Vedavati Garu, unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody.
Namaste.
What to say? See, I am 65 years now. Till the age, till last June, I was a non-veg, pure non-veg. Every weekly, twice, thrice, I used to have non-veg. Now, after coming into Mahavatar Foundation, this Dhyana and meditation, I have completely left. Now I don't like that smell also. And as you said, I used to have solid food in the night also. Till that time. Nowadays, I have only one chapati, very little rice, or sometimes only one or one and a half chapatis. But I feel
Yes.
my body, whole body is light. As it is,
Yes.
I'm fat. But after stopping, not stopping non-veg, I feel very light, and
Yeah, that
my digestive system is also good now.
that's great, ma'am.
Hmm.
So follow the
That's
diet.
one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Follow. Yeah. Stick to
I'm
the
very
diet.
particular.
Yes.
Like in between, I don't take anything. I don't like also. One morning breakfast, one coffee, then afternoon lunch, night one chapati. That's all. In between, sometimes I take fruits.
Yes. That's
Otherwise, I don't like these chips, all these fried items. I never used to like that.
great, ma'am.
I don't have this sugar, BP, all that. I have only arthritis. And during this season only, I feel very difficult.
Yes, because of
It
food.
pains all.
Yes.
Otherwise, by God's grace, I'm healthy.
Yeah, thank you, Vedavati Garu. So, what made you to take a decision like to skip no, that meat?
Non-veg.
Yeah.
Meat, I don't know. After, see, this March only I started Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
And there also, they used to tell not to eat non-veg and all that. And Deepika, all these 700 slokas, 18 adhyayas with meaning I have written.
Great. Okay,
I
so
have written within 1 month. I completed that.
okay,
And I attended this Vishnu Sahasranama class last year.
okay,
That time
okay,
also first I left for 60 days. And then
okay.
after that only, I thought I should leave. I should stop taking non-veg. After while attending Bhagavad Gita class also, I used to eat. That is only during night time. But after coming to the meditation, I completely stopped.
Wow, that's great to hear. So, after starting meditation, you realize really great, ma'am. And thank you. Yeah, and vegetarian is only food that suits to our human body. So it's better if you follow, and it keeps you good health, and you will grow it spiritually. Also, you'll grow very well. Yeah, having sattvic food and all. Thank you so much, Vedavati Garu. And any other masters? Yeah, thank you. Any other masters? If you have any questions, please come forward. Ask Sindhura ma'am, or else we'll start meditating.
And one scientific reason is there. So why we should choose vegetarian food? Because the human intestine is very long. It is coiled up, right? So if we take non-veg, so it takes longer time to pass through the intestine. Somewhere it may get, rotten as well if it is not completely digested. So, but in the case of carnivorous animals like cheetah or tiger, so the intestine is very small.
Yeah, it's very
So,
short. Yes.
yeah. So they don't digest if they take vegetarian food. So that's why. So according to the scientific reason, so vegetarian food is very good for human beings, for human intestine. How about seafoods? See, Savita madam. See, I was living in coastal area for a few years. Seafoods. Why they go for seafood is there the demography, because of the demography, means the land that is for meant for agriculture is very less in the coastal areas. So only for that reason, most of the people living in coastal area, they have the culture of eating fish and seafood. So it is compared to other non-veg, and they say it is easily digestible, but yet if there is a possibility of having better vegetarian food in also coastal parts, you can get vegetarian food like ashgod and other the cucumber, everything they will we will get jackfruit. So you can go for that. That is also very good for health. And also yam. We don't know what we call. It is called elephant foot, right? Suvarna gedde in Kannada. So those are all best coastal vegetarian food you can have. And also seeds, chickpeas and other pulses. So that is what. So conclusion is vegetarian food is best. Vegetarian food is best.
Yeah. Thank you, Sindhura ma'am. So let's start meditation now. We'll practice doing meditation. Okay. Thank you, Sindhura ma'am, for explaining in detail
Thank you so
about the
much.
food and digestion and all. And yeah, we'll have in future about all these topics, all this detail. So we'll go and discuss about this in future. So let's continue our session with the spiritual topic share now, wisdom share. So like last week we had a loss of spirit world. It was like a communication from the spirits from the spirit world, right? Through auto writing. This is also like a communication from 40 masters actually through auto writing. This happened and it's also a non-fiction. It's not a story made up. It's a real incidents happened. So let's talk about that now. So messages from 40 masters is actually conveyed or channeled by a material from by C. Aruna. She is the author and she is born on 13th February 1958, Hyderabad. She's a veteran member of the Kurnool Spiritual Society and is a thoroughly enlightened master. Sure. So she attained enlightenment like vigorous meditation, like practicing vigorous meditation, reading spiritual books, and constantly sharing her experiences. So she received these messages from 40 remarkable personages through auto writing during the years 93 and 95. So this book is an original research in spirituality that brings light to many people, like common people, general public. And it's an inspiration for you all, for us all calling for spiritual urgency. So every message from these enlightened beings will take you through a new wave of transformation, so which you may have seen seeking for a long time. So This book is your guiding energy in the path of your soul journey. So based on what actually happened is like she was discussing with her husband, and her husband name is Sri Murthy. And so based on some understanding, her husband Sri Murthy, who is a key person, a helping hand for the conception of this book, said to start auto writing. So he proposed that she takes messages from some masters, meditating upon them on important facts like, so when were their meditational experiences? So what are they doing now? And what is their message to us? So all this roundup. And that is how she started taking messages from various masters. So it all started from 11th of January in the year 1993 at 11 a.m. So when she was meditating, while meditating, a master appeared and earnestly asked to write for him immediately. So that's how it was a good start. The whole room actually that time was filled with energies and a lot of vibrations, and her mental condition was very different, and it's altered during her 45 minutes of writing. So it enhanced her to meditate and read more books. In this way, she got the first message on meditation and enlightenment, and it was wonderful. So, and it helped her to establish an auto writer in the field of spirituality. Through perseverance in spirituality, they became great and key personalities for all of us to know and learn more from these drafts. So, looking all these drafts and all, her master said the name of the book as Messages from 40 Masters. So, as she took messages from 40 masters, they named the book like this. And she thanked her master and her guide and the most important, remarkable person for her life. Guess who could be the master? Any guesses? Can anyone guess who could her master be or guide be?
Patriji.
Yes, you're right, Neelgar. Yeah. Yeah, he's none other than Master Subhash Patriji Garu. So for molding this book appropriately, she calls him remarkable person, incredible master for her life, that he has awakened and helped them in their search simply by his presence. In fact, he's remarkable person or guide to master to many masters and many people, right? So we'll be discussing about 4 to 5 masters now, like from whom she got messages and all. So yeah, she got a message from Adi Shankara. So it was on 11th of March 1994. So let's see what message she got from Adi Shankara. So Adi Shankara Garu, he was telling like value is very important theme in any society, the values, right? So without a value, a society, a culture cannot exist. That's what he's giving a message. And how can a building be erected without foundation, right? A proper foundation only keeps the building to sustain for a long time, right? So the value of the system of a society is foundation for any society. That's what his message. He's telling the message, and every member of the society needs to obey these values. And for these values, systems form the base of your life challenge. Suppose you cannot bend and mold yourself to the value system of the society you can't live in, right? So in that case, you cannot progress, for the real essence of your life is missing when you're not following the values of your culture and society. So some may have question like, how can we continue with these outdated values and yet progress? So his message, he's telling, see, people in other countries, how objective and progressive they are. So this is the question actually. So the author is saying, sorry, sir, I disagree with you, because for I would not have been born under these value systems had I thought other countries elsewhere better off. So we are having like the people says like there's so many values of superstitious beliefs, and also these are the values like other countries don't have. Then how can we practice that outdated one and all. So she was asking, and she's also telling that her basic point is that people are born in their respective places. So how can, like, some will be like outdated, some will be like other, like how can we take on those values? So Adi Shankaracharya is telling, so people are born actually in their respective places, chosen by themselves. So no one has imposed them into any particular value system. They have come on their own independent decision. So this being the original framework in which you were born, how can you curse or say that your existing value or values are wrong? If anything were wrong, you would not choose it, right? We have already chosen. That means we actually took a decision to come up in that values to grow spiritually or to grow to the higher realms, right? That's what he's telling. So if anything were wrong, you would not choose it. And having chosen it, it becomes essential for you to live in and learn from the existing system, because it is here and only here that you can grow, evolve, and progress spiritually. So that's what he's telling the Shankaracharya Garu. So when I talk of the value system or value-based society, I have talked in terms of house, a family relations, and your existence in this type of network. These are the values they're talking about. And so he's telling like the outdated modes of society and living, like joint family, overindulgence of parents towards children, demanding responsibility, etc. Then I'm all with you. He's telling that. So, and he's also telling like he's against with the child marriage, bonded child labor, and the rites done after death and birth. So he's telling he's against of all this. And since these these are like needless economic extravagance and nothing else, right? So his impact on individual spiritual growth in a society or culture is the main thing. That's what Adi Shankaracharya is conveying through a message through Aruna Garu. So any questions, masters? Can we go back? Can we go to next master? Okay. Yeah, thumbs up. So I'll go to a message. We'll take from a message from Ravana. Okay. So message from Ravana. She got Aruna Garu. She got a message actually from Ravana. It happened while she's doing meditation. While she's practicing meditating at 11 p.m. This is on the date 12th March 1994. Okay, Lakshmi Garu. So let every master coming up in meditation learn from my life. That's what Ravana is telling. So he's telling like his life tells primarily two important facts. The first fact is that in 10 months, any meditator with a bit of simple knowledge can attain whatever he has achieved. So he has achieved like bringing out Atmalinga. That is a great boon from Shiva, right? So he's messaging that. So there were many meditators along with him during his time, and still there was like they were so self-indulging that he exhibited every person that he is a master of 10 heads, where 10 heads were his awareness, but no other meditator has exhibited so this. And he's telling the second fact, like indirectly Rama was his master. So Rama and Ravana, they designed their lives together. So in his mission, in Rama's mission, he was perfectly successful. But Ravana was so obsessed with himself that he immensely violent to many people. So that is the reason why Master Rama had to take the extreme step of killing him, right, Ravana. So from this, he's conveying us to learn like self-importance is the greatest impediment to spiritual progress. You don't have to show off like, oh, I have achieved this and that and all. You don't have to show off. It's self-importance. Like you feel it and you analyze it and you grow. It's self-importance is the greatest impediment to spiritual progress. And clarity is the dictator of your self-importance. You should be clarity of what you're doing, what you want to achieve and all. So be aware. He's telling the third principle, like be aware of self-importance and clarity. Clarity should be read as half knowledge, he's telling. So these are the three things he's messaging with two important facts. And we'll go to the third master. He got the message from Hiranyakashpa. You know who is Hiranyakashpa, right? So Hiranyakashpa is the father of Prahlada. So we know the story of Prahlada, right? So this is a message Aruna Garu got on 14th of March 1994 at 11 p.m. Looks like she's doing meditation at 11 p.m. Like the three messages we got at the same time, but different dates each day. So what is Hiranyakashpa telling is he's a believer of one and only one master, that is Shiva. So he was Shiva's follower and felt that no one else existed apart from him and thought that he is everything. But we also have Narayana and so many other masters, right? He was against Vishnumurti, this Hiranyakashipa. He was only thinking like only Shiva exists and no other. So he didn't even listen what Bhakta Prahlada was telling his own son. So for that reason, he was telling like his own son tried to enlighten him, right? To bring him around an idea that other masters also exist. But he became a taskmaster and tried to this point persistently into Hiranyakashipa's brain. That's what he's messaging, even though he didn't try even to listen what his son is telling. And he intentionally, so that is the reason to teach his father, Prahlada intentionally choose Narayana's name to tell his father like there is not only Shiva but there are also other masters. So to teach him a lesson, Narada, he intentionally chose Narayana's name, Vishnu's underself, but most of the time Hiranyakashipa he detested at that time. So there is one important crucial fact that he's trying to communicate is, I want to drive home today. Deep down in my consciousness, I knew that my son was correct. These are the messages he's giving. I knew that my son was correct, but my son's task was to get this verbalized from my mouth, which I vehemently detested. And I did resort to 1,001 ways to avoid my son's efforts to change my belief system. So how many times even Bhakta Prahlada is trying to communicate trying to let his father be aware, like there are so many masters, not only Shiva, but he kept on rejecting those. So he's saying like, I would say drink poison, etc. He always was successfully in escaping murderous attempts, right? He attempted so many murderous attempts to his son, but they were all failing. And finally, at the height of his foolishness, it challenged him. He could make his master appear physically, right? That's how we see like, and Lakshmi Narasimha Swami arrived. So he's telling he's telling that I have said foolishness because deep inside me, and I was sure that my son was correct, but only I never let it come to the surface. He knows from inside like his son is correct, but he didn't that truth come up upon his surface. Like he was hiding in his heart itself. He knew that the truth, but he was hiding in his heart. So he's messaging like, so my dear readers, if any one of you says, I know, kindly sit and meditate and begin truly to understand what you know. That's what he's telling. So masters surround you all, and further all of you are expected to help each other. So he's telling like others masters also can assist you in opening your third eye. Still, they cannot take total responsibility for you onto themselves. If that could be the case, how will you learn and regrow? So this is a clear lesson that comes out of his life as Hiranyakashipu. So he's telling like note two things. Do not rebuke other masters. Okay, and do not waste away your incarnation with your foolishness. And these are the two messages he's conveying through Arunagaru. And let's go to the other master now. So a message from Vibhishana. So you know Vibhishana, he's a brother of Ravana, who like two are both quite opposite. So he's telling that I knew I had to meet you all one day, but I didn't think you will call me to give me a message. He was telling to Aruna. So, well, the message of his life is learn to upgrade yourself spiritually when everything around you is falling and shattering into pieces, getting destroyed. And when people have no faith in each other, I say all this because such conditions provide a wonderful spiritual foundation for anyone. So this is the message he's giving to us. So even however the situation be, you have to he's directly telling like you have to follow dharma. So even when your life is falling, shattering into pieces, getting destroyed, when people have no faith in each other, all the disaster happening also, he's telling like that condition provides a wonderful spiritual foundation for anyone. So upgrade your spirituality even though when everything is falling around you. So he's telling like I was the odd man out among my brothers, right? So his challenge was to hold tightly to humanity, to the basic moral values of a common person. So he didn't want to get away from those values and discipline. So secondly, he's telling like he's always planned everything in life. He was never hurry and never ambitious. So he's telling us like these 2 points help him to grow spiritually. So a principled man like him had no room in Ravana's place. Still, they are brothers. So he tolerated him more than he was actually. So he's saying that a certain level to all my he has to undergo his family ties, which presented me or rather helped towards spirituality. So Vibhishana Garu is telling, so he was a normal person, never with violent outburst. He's a non-violent person and he's a very normal person. But the only thing is like he's different with his brothers since he's following rules and all. And he always plans his life ahead, no hurry burry, no ambitious. So all these points helped him to grow spiritually. That's what he's messaging to us. He's trying to communicate. So there was a question like, why do I not feel like my other brothers? So here it is. And where I'm today, while the rest are on the other side, I'm here as a symbol of the past to teach others that we are all to go towards spirituality. We shall all fall prey to materialism, which is nothing but a bubble about to break any minute. So he's telling the present situation and the world crisis that your generation faces are far worse than you can imagine. So he's sincerely advising us to seek the path of spiritualism for our betterment and the betterment of all the others around you. That's what he's telling, to seek the path of spiritualism. So he's telling like, I'm a master of 7th body consciousness and physical body with a little more sincere effort. You too can reach this level in no time. He's telling like, keep on practicing meditation, stay in dharma, do the things like you grow spiritually and make others also get better like your surrounding people also get better, and they also have spiritualism. So this is the message he's trying to convey through Aruna Garu. So other masters will go next 3 days or 2 days. Okay. So any questions, masters? This was a great book, right? So far we have learned messages from 5 masters: Adi Shankara, Ravana Garu, Hiranyakashpa, and Vibhishana Garu, 4. And there are like 36 more masters giving us messages that actually helpful to us to grow spiritually, and so we learn more about them in future. So thank you so much for listening. But yes, unmute yourself.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Namaskaram. This is a book, no? You are
Yes.
telling auto,
This
automate.
is a book from Messages from 40 Masters.
Can we the cover page of the book? Can we see?
Yeah, we will send you. So in Google,
please,
you
sir.
just type Messages from 40 Masters.
Oh.
You will get that. Tomorrow I'll try to show the cover page. Okay.
Please, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. And thank you. I have to thank you all masters for staying too long to listen that. And thank you, Rangnath sir, and thank you, Pallavi ma'am, too. She provided the notes to us. She searched the material. Thank you, Pallavi. And yeah, that's a question, right, sir, for you? We'll share the cover page tomorrow so that in Google you can text like a message from 40 masters, Aruna. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's in Amazon. We can, if you search with that, you will get it, sir. You can buy that book and read it.
Yeah, Vedavati Garu, unmute yourself.
Deepika, today
Yes.
in my meditation, I saw Ananta Padmanabha and that
Oh, wow.
statue. I
Okay.
never imagined, I never thought this. And then on the towards his head, no, one
Yeah,
Lakshmi photo is there. I was telling somebody that, see, you should not keep photos here. You should keep towards the right side of Vishnu always. I said.
Okay.
Today.
Oh, okay.
And
you got while practicing meditation, you saw Ananta Padmanabha. Oh, that's wonderful.
Very clearly I saw the statue.
Even Aruna Garu, she was she's doing meditation. That's what our sir is telling. She's do meditation, read spiritual books, share. She was like constantly sharing her experiences. That's how we will also understand. Okay, I am also getting experiences, and I also shared so and experience. Even if we forget, our friends will remind, right? So it's better to constantly share your experiences. Do meditation, do swadhyaya regularly, and constant sharing experiences, and let others know this and make them also get benefited. These are the things we have to do. So we will also grow spiritually in a higher, like in a rapid way, right? See, you're practicing meditation, you're only experiencing, right? That's very good experience.
After the third eye, man, this thing, no?
Yes.
Instructions. I couldn't open my eyes at all, but through this third eye, I could see one red color, and it was very no design, nothing. It was a plain red color wall like. It was like a paper. And then after that, I saw something pouring from my head towards my nose, mouth, and all that.
Okay.
Like raindrop, no? Like that.
Yeah, that's good experience. I think Muladhara Chakra, the red color.
I don't know
And
how.
the raining and all is like cosmic energy.
Okay. Even now, I have that pain on my forehead.
Okay. Yeah, it's you're progressing, right? So you'll see all those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
we have
experience.
that yesterday's video is in our group. We can see once again, twice, thrice, so that we'll understand what she said and we can experience more things. By playing that video, if you do the meditation, you will know. You will have more
See,
experiences.
only night time I can concentrate. Yesterday, actually, there was a lot of disturbance. Today, there was no disturbance, nothing. Coolly, calmly, I meditated and I got this experience.
Yeah,
We should
you
come
keep
to some stage that whatever may be the sound around us, we should just concentrate on our breath. That to that state we have to come, ma'am.
Come.
Then we will
Yes.
have more and more great
and
experience.
yeah, that time, ma'am, that time, Vedavati garu, what happens, when you feel like very noisy outside, you want to go and sit and do meditation. So if you get in that stage, like Pallavi ma'am told, then you always want to do meditation.
I
So
want to
the
do.
noise and all will not disturb you that time. You can start doing that, practice that, so you'll attain it soon. Thank you, Vedavati garu, for sharing your
Thank you.
experience. Thank you. Okay, masters, and we'll continue. We'll have the continuation for tomorrow again with the same topic, part 2. Messages from 40 masters, part 2. Okay. Until then, take care. Bye. Have a good night. Thank you all, masters. Thank you all for watching.